What's going on, everybody? I appreciate you hanging out, waiting on the stream to start. For those of you watching the replay, though, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. When we do these live chats, you can take part right along with us. So that is my alert, letting me know it is time for the live stream. Go figure. So George will be joining us here in just a bit. Typically, I would go ahead and show you guys what I'm wearing, but we got to have a little anticipation because I'm wearing the fragrance that is the topic here today. So we'll be going over a few things. Still going to do a full review video. So we're going to cover a lot of things in this live stream. Talk about George's trip because he's been all over the place as of late in the last 2 weeks. So pretty active chat right away. I appreciate you guys. Let me make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way in. We got 80 people in the first minute. So it seems like there's some excitement around this. And I wasn't building up how this looks for no reason, guys. This is captivating. It's breathtaking. I literally just saw the 2 ounce for the first time. I just busted the seal on the 2 ounce 20 minutes ago and looked at it. I was like, holy shit. Like the 2 ounce is even impressive and it doesn't have the plate. You'll see. So I'm sorry to tease you, but we got to build a little anticipation, right? So at about the 10-minute mark, we're going to take a look at this. So George will be joining us shortly. Let me get caught up with the chat because I'm getting behind quick. We have a very active chat today. Already over 100 people in the first minute. Welcome. I appreciate you guys. See you guys at 6. Okay. So, and believe it or not, there was a lot more comments from yesterday when I set this up. For some reason, they're not showing, but good to see you, Kevin. What's going on, AJ? Yeah, look, the 2 ounce is beautiful. It is, but the plate on the 4 ounce, guys, my Lord. Sally, good to see you. Indeed, Jerry. Evening Mystique. Hell yeah. Hey, you can't go wrong there. So we're, like I was saying, around my birthday, probably I'd be shocked if it makes it to that point. That's pretty much, I can't say how many bottles are left, guys, but there's not many. It's on its way out before there's no way whatsoever it makes it to see the 31st of the month. No way, no how. I'm sorry. The stock's that low, just to give you guys a heads up. Can't wait. Ryan, always a pleasure to see you. There's my guy. What's going on, man? We're in Triple X, Joey's collaboration with Zaharoff. Have a night off and just getting ready some ice fishing this weekend. You're always doing these fishing trips, man. I'm glad you're having a good week, good week leading into a great weekend. What's going on, Ryan? Lalique Noir Extreme. Thought my wife didn't like Midnight Oud, which is a clone of Interlude Man. Also rival with Intense, similar to Vanilla Oud. She likes it now, just sprayed less. My heavy sprays threw her off. See, my wife doesn't like the crazy strong stuff either, or me spraying too heavy because it overwhelms her. So I have a similar situation there. Good to see you wearing Aurum in celebration of the situation. Emperor Andy from Sensual Obsessions. Have an amazing life. Appreciate you coming through. Tonka-Cola, one of my personal favorites. So George will be joining us here in just a little bit. I told him as long as he can make it for about 5:10, because we do this for about 10 minutes, catch up on the chat, say hello to one another, see who's wearing what. So, like I said, he'll be joining us here in just a little bit, and we'll get right into it for the most part. Good to see Justin, code EDP. Dan, not the man. Day 4 of Zaharoff week, wearing Aurum. Rafe, how are you? Much love to everyone. Black Rose pre-order locked in. Can't wait. I saw you make a post in the Zed Lounge yesterday. Nothing's changed, my man. 15th, your bottle is heading to you, as with everyone else's. So George isn't waiting on bottles to get filled or anything. He's got them ready to go. On the 15th, bottles are shipping, guys, on Monday. We're in City Rhythm, Manhattan. What's going on, Kyle? Let him know. Let him know as well, Rafe. What's going on, Terrence? How are you? Elysium, acknowledge me. So that's going to be your thing now. He's got it. He's rolling with the Roman Reigns catchphrase for when, because everybody's got their we got the best smelling postal worker. Damn, it smells good in the chat. We got all these catchphrases in the live chat. Everybody makes their presence known. And lately, Terrence has been going with acknowledge me. I like it. It's one of my wrestling buddies here online. So I like it. Liz, good to see you. Glad you're able to make it. Supply and demand, always a pleasure, sir. Leather tobacco for Sean. A lot of people wearing some Zaharoff fragrances for the occasion. Hell yeah, glad to have you. 0 this week. Oh, well, YouTube's very hit and miss when it comes to these notifications. Sergio Chergy, great dry, kind of hay-like tobacco fragrance. Ethan, good to see you wearing Signature Rosé. I got that right here because it all started here. It all started here to create this wildly different rose experience. Mark is in the chat. Good to see you, sir. Aussie Fragrance in the house. Dan Stank, good to see you. Mahir Legacy. Really been enjoying this one recently. DWJ, how are you? Spencer, Creed Aventus Absolute Aventus. Adam, good to see you. It has been a little while. Boogie Daddy's in the house. Everybody's saying hello. I'm trying to get caught up. Khalili, always a pleasure. Happy Land Studios Amberland Go. I couldn't tell you the last time I wore that. That's definitely a warm amber. Excited for this. Oh, fun fact, because I'll be hanging with my buddy George Atkinson here in about 2 weeks. That's his favorite Happy Land fragrance, Amberland. Funny that you mentioned that. I always think of George when I see somebody mention Amberland. Strong With You absolutely is a great choice. Evening Mystique for Jeff, Florida fragrance guy. This is going to be a huge hit for George. So this is my favorite to come out since this. It's my favorite to come out since this. Leather Tobacco was my favorite to come out since this, but I like Black Rose more than Leather Tobacco. I do. It's more me. It's so much more my personality. For something that's not the greatest everyday choice, I don't think Black Rose is a great everyday choice, but man, Rosé is not a great everyday choice either, but it's my favorite, you know? Hey guys and gals, rocking Halloween Man X. Nice chilly day. So we got some cold ass days coming for us too, like Monday and Tuesday or something like that. Highs are like 42, 41 or something like that. We got some pretty chilly days coming. It's been cool and crisp most of the time. We've had a lot of wind. I saw tornadoes and stuff. We've had a lot of wind this week. By Barrett Fragrance. Good to see Josh. We're in Herod. Saw the bottle is crazy. The bottle's really crazy. Both of them are crazy. The 4 ounces is the crazier of the two, though. Private Accord for Joel. Good to see you, Clifton. Smooth operator. Long time no see. Haven't seen you in a chat in a little while. Good to see you, my man. Yeah, we're going to look at both. We're going to look at both. We will look at both, sir. Always a pleasure, Cliffy. Good to see you. Smells amazing in here. Yeah, there's a lot of great scent of the day choices. Speaking of Honor and Glory, that's probably my favorite Lattafa fragrance right now. I don't think I like another Lattafa more than that, honestly. Fragrance Du Bois Amber Intense, the one EDP, timeless classic. Africa. I don't know why you randomly said Africa, but all right then. Shout outs to Africa. George just came back from South Africa. Let me refresh because we're closing in on 200 viewers in 7 minutes already. We got 99 likes. That quick, fast, and in a hurry. I appreciate you guys. We're just waiting on the guest of honor here, and we're going to get started hopefully in about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and get into it. Highly anticipated, guys. Look, I know I show a lot of love for these fragrances, and of course there's natural bias because George is my friend, but you guys have to understand I'm one of the few and the proud lucky ones that get to be involved in the testing process from creation to final product. So I'm along for the ride and all the evolutions of these different scent profiles. So I have time to fall in love with these fragrances. You got to understand. I get a lot of time to like this has been, we'll get into the story more, but just give you an idea. This is not what it smelled like the first rendition. The very first go round, this is a totally different reworked fragrance completely from the original idea. And it was such a good move on Claude's part. This was Claude's idea. Let me just try something, George. Trust me. Which, like I said, we'll get into the deeper stories in a little bit. But this was Claude's idea to change it, as far as I remember. And man, God, he's so brilliant. God, Claude Deer is brilliant. This Zaharoff signature line releases are proof of what master perfumers are truly capable of when they're given creative freedom. To just, here's the vision, you give them the vision and let them run free and work their magic, and don't put barriers and parameters on them and say, make me some magic. Here's the vision, make some magic. And this one after another, Claude and George coming out with hits, guys. Is he in the chat yet? No, I don't see him in the chat. So we're just waiting on him. I know he was gathering his dinner, getting situated. I talked to him literally 20 minutes ago. So he should be here any moment. What's going on, JB? How are you, my man? Duke. Supremacy Silver. Just bought it 2 days ago. It's actually pretty good, man. There's so many Creed Aventus clones now. It doesn't get any love anymore. It's actually a pretty good one. Man with Scent. Such a fun name. Excellent day. Today was My Perfumes All Sujet. Is that how you say that? A twist on Latent Exclusive. Ombre Leather. Lizzie. You're just not playing fair now. That's such a great fragrance. I saw Justin's video, speaking of, because Purple Suede from Goldfield and Banks is kind of a take on ombre leather. So now when I see ombre leather, I think of Purple Suede. Which, do I still have it right here? Yes. So literally after Justin's live yesterday, I texted him immediately when he ended it, because he was about to film the video on the 2 Goldfield and Banks fragrances. I said, spoiler alert, Purple Suede is amazing. After he filmed the video, he started texting me how much he loved it. So Lizzie, if you like ombre leather, and you haven't tried Purple Suede from Goldfield and Banks, you really should. Lavender heavy, slightly metallic ombre leather. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Indeed, double Vanille. Ray Sultan. Ooh, coming out with a heavy hitter here. Seen a live stream. Was in a bad accident at home recouping this. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Antonio. I see I froze on YouTube. I hope you guys can still hear me. But okay, bandwidth's back. Had a quick little drop. But Antonio, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope you heal up pretty well. I hope it isn't too severe for you. Jason, always a pleasure. Elysium O Intense, underappreciated release for last year. If I had to pick one, it's probably ombre leather. A close second would be any of the Costa Azuras. Just pick one, and I'd be like, sure, that one. Probably the Parfum, but ombre leather, gun to my head, and I can only keep one Tom Ford. And I don't even have a bottle of ombre leather. I've been through a decant. I have several fragrances. I have niche fragrances galore that smell like Tuscan leather. So it's like, that's one of the things that has really held me back from buying ombre leathers. I have so much ombre leather scent profile around me, and this really scratches the ombre leather itch. Purple Suede. So it's beyond redundant for me to get it at this point, but I love the scent profile. Signature Rosé, excellent choice. I have my bottle right here as well. So George, what are you doing? It is time. In fact, I'm going to text him. What are you doing? Earth to George. Literally what I text. Wearing Aurum. We got several people here in the chat wearing Aurum because I'm ready to get going, guys. We need the guest of honor. I'm eager to show you guys these bottles and talk about the story and the scent profile and all the good stuff. Catch replay wearing Percival, and the guest of honor has arrived backstage. So whenever you're ready, give me the old thumbs up. We got a fan flick, so I'm guessing that's a T-minus 10-second countdown here. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to have to skip ahead a little bit, Boz. I see you, sir. I see you. Skip ahead a little bit to a decent stopping point. So I apologize. I see you, Mikey Dinsmore, Rick Reynolds. I see a lot of familiar names as I scroll down. Drew, all right, George is ready, ladies and gentlemen. So the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. George Zaharoff. How are you, sir?
Hi, Ross. Hi, everybody.
Loving the lighting. I see you got your candles going. We got quite the crowd waiting for you. We got right around 200 people eagerly awaiting to hear what you have to say and see these beautiful bottles.
Aye.
So I don't know if you were watching and heard some of the things that I said. You had it on?
I heard everything. I was trying to set up. I got into a fight with my my ring light. So.
But would you say that was a fair statement, that this is proof positive on what happens when you give a brilliant man freedom in his craft?
I think it's also, the synchronicity, and when you flow and you don't push things to happen, when you have the vision, and Claude and I just seems to, well, the process because you've worked with Claude, but I just, I want things to flow. And so.
Thank you for that, by the way. I know I've thanked you many times, but that is such an experience that I'm thankful to have had twice.
It was a great time. We had good times. Yeah. Am I coming in clearly?
Very clear, good audio, good visual. We're good. We're good.
I want to look nice for the TLTG family.
I'm sure they appreciate that, George. You always look your best, I got to say. So before we dive into it, would you like to cover a little bit on how we got from here to Black Rose?
Yeah, I think this is we launched Rosé 2 years ago. It was
Rosé launched right before the first Zed Creators.
The first Zed Creators. So it's going to be, you're good with dates. So when we launched Rosé, I was putting noir, and then rosé, and I love the way it smelled. And I thought to myself, this was at the same time when we were doing, I think, Tobacco, because didn't Tobacco launch after the Z Creators, the first one?
So you had rosé, then
That's
you had the Z Creators, then Tobacco was the follow-up for the cooler months.
And so the idea was to Paul Robertson, yes, to have the fans. You know, I have to tell you something funny. I was at the grocery store getting we have a big storm coming, and so I had one of the cashiers come across and go, sir, and I look up and he goes, I'm really digging the hair. And I said, thank you. So
I gotta say, the longer it gets, the better it is looking. It suits you.
So thank you, Ross. So thank you, Paul. And it's not a mullet. Just so people know, I think someone had said George has a mullet. It's not a mullet, people.
No, definitely
I wouldn't roam around the world with a mullet. So
your biggest fan would love for you to stand up. Bilbo.
Stand up?
Yeah. You know why. Yeah. Not everybody in my audience knows why. But there are some here that do, and that's hilarious. So there you go. There you go, Bilbo. You happy? Oh my God.
Okay, good.
There you go.
I've lost weight. I've lost body fat. I'm very proud of myself.
You excited to get back to the gym, get back in rhythm?
I'm very, very excited because so we launched.
Thank you for 5 gifted memberships to 5 lucky people, Jared. We appreciate you, sir.
So I thought to myself, why don't I do a noir rosé or rosé noir, and then put leather in Tobacco? This was all happening simultaneously. And I had a group of people over here at the house, and were you here, Ross? No.
Possibly. Wait, was this when we were doing the interviews?
This was with
Patrick. The first Z Creators, because Rosé was already out at that point, I think. No, it wasn't out yet, because when we sat at the table to go over plans and everything, that was in that vlog video I have. That's when you gave that travel size to Grace, and she's, oh my God, was all excited. So it wasn't out yet at that point.
That's right. And I was talking with Patrick. Patrick's channel used to be anyway.
It's been so long, I don't even remember the name of Patrick's channel. He's changed the name so many times.
Patrick's over here, and I'm like, what do you think? And he said, it smells like noir and rosé. And it smells with tobacco with a little leather. And this was what you said as well. This was the same thing that Ross said too. It smelled great.
Leather tobacco, it literally smelled like just adding a leather accord to tobacco. It was too generic.
It was too easy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it was an effortless move. Nothing really changed a whole lot. It dried down the same,
Right. And it was too easy. When Ross says generic, it smelled like tobacco with leather.
That's what I mean. Like it was super redundant is the word.
There you go. That's a better word.
Redundant.
And so I don't like that word, redundant or generic or easy, because it's not my life. It's not my whole life has never been like that. So going after my dreams. And so I talked to Claude, and I said, and Ross was, you were like, you knew this whole time all this was happening. And so the submission started coming in for the rosé, the black rose. I go, I want a black rose. And that's where it came up, the idea, the Halfeti rose, because there is one place on Earth that they grow black roses. I went there. It took me a year to set the whole thing up. It's right by the border of Syria and Turkey, and that's where they had. It took me a year to set this up because I had to go through the Turkish government and then the Turkish tourist organization. It was a big hullabaloo. It was a lot.
Yeah, for you guys who need some context, this is like their main, most well-known source and resource and export is that Halfeti black rose. So it's hoops.
Yeah, and it's a lot. And when they show when you guys see me traveling and going to these places, it isn't just me showing up. It's a lot.
You're mute, George. You're muted. He's cursing God now. GDing. Muted.
How now?
You're good.
Okay.
Yep.
So, so I set up the thing with Halfeti a year in the making, because not only they have to be planted, they have to bloom, and then they have to be ready to be harvested. And so I had to wait 1 year for that to happen. In the meantime, I'm working with Claude on this, and I think it was a good 2 years.
Roughly.
Right. And then
from the very first Rosé Noir hybrid,
right,
was to now, to you filling these bottles anyways, because you filled these, what, 2 months ago? Month and a half?
3 months ago. Yeah.
Something like that. To that point was easily 2.5 years.
And 9, 8, 7, 8. We had I have mod 7, 8, 9, 10 iterations too.
Right? Well, multiple bases. So
and
that's the thing, because mod 8 and 9 were the last two. Mod 8 and 9 were the final two renditions. I believe mod 8 for this base is what's in these bottles that I have right here, guys. So it was a finite process to really get it down to exactly what he wanted.
So I end up in Halfeti, and this is what they look like. I don't know if you guys could see it.
Black roses.
Look at that. Is that crazy?
I've never seen that before.
And it smells incredible. Because I've had this. Look at that, guys.
Remember these black roses when you see this natural juice color in a moment, guys. Remember those rose colors.
And so I see all the beautiful people saying hello, and my love to all of you. Almost everyone in this room has supported me, and I'm so grateful for it. And I hope that I show that love and respect back. It's important to me that everyone knows that it's something that is very sacred and holy for me, and I would never do anything to show nothing but love back. So I get on a plane, I go to Halfeti, I meet with the farmer. It was just an incredible story, and I had taped it all. The earthquake happened, and I was scared to go because I didn't know. It was like literally the earthquake happened a week before I was supposed to leave. And I called to say, should I still go? And they're like, you know what, it's good that you go, because it's still tourism money, and you're giving support to the hotel and the guide and all the driver, all these things that were put into place, because I had to arrive into a city and then drive 4 hours away to go to Halfeti. Anyway, the whole town is underwater. It's a city. And they built the dam, so the whole town is underwater, and yet you have these fields of the black rose. And so, going back to this, there were 8 iterations, 8 modifications, because I wanted to do it. I had a certain vision in my head, and this was the black rose. This wasn't
there
the
was 9.
Rosé. Huh?
There was 9. There was 9. You went with number 8.
I went with number 7. There was 8, and then remember the 9 and the 10, the 2 that came in, that the nouveau.
Yeah. You're right. My apologies.
And so I went with number 7. I didn't go with number 8.
I thought it was 8.
Number 7 is the best, and Ross will tell you I wore these to the ground, like each modification.
I've been smelling every iteration. So in the last 2 years, I've been around George. 7 or 8, 9 trips, something like that. I mean, we went to Scotland. I've been to Chicago several times.
Yeah,
we went to California a little over 2 years ago in December, close to a dozen times. And literally every time I'm around him, he's wearing a version of Black Rose. You guys have heard me. A lot of you have heard me say this over the last couple of years. I can tell you honestly, if he has a favorite, he calls them his children. That's his favorite child. Yeah. Black Rose is his favorite child. by far.
I think when you guys get Black Rose, I think you'll understand. But anyway, so I chose number 7, and right before doing it, I get a call from Claude, and he talks to me about trends now, and he was saying, I was having a talk with my daughter. The daughter is very much into like that Virgil Abloh at the time, with Ventements, the very cutting edge fashion brands. And is this like Mr. Zaharoff's? I didn't get a chance to read that last comment, Ross. That's the one that gave you a tip or money or a gift.
Oh, Sean, super chat.
What is it?
With the Turkish rose and resins, is this like Zaharoff's first true Middle Eastern inspired scent, something that when I try it will remind me of Amouage?
I don't think so.
So actually, George, I actually did allude to this. I think that's why he's bringing it up, because this is a fragrance that if they were to pour in an Amouage bottle, they would charge $400 to $500 for, because this is a very oriental and resinous.
I guess you're right, because it comes from Syria. I guess you're right.
So actually, George, I could see Amouage making a fragrance like this. Obviously they would have to go the route of getting Halfeti Black Rose and everything. But
don't think so.
But honestly, there's credence to what he's saying. Yeah, I totally. If they'd have been thought about it to beat you to the punch, this totally could have that. And look, Amouage, I know a lot of people in the audience, and I know you've heard me say it, I hold them in pretty high regard as well. I think that's top tier.
Of course, I do too.
They're a top tier house.
That's like that's that you look at something and you say, I kind of aspire. I look at a brand that's aspirational for Zaharoff, and it's Amouage, and so
they make nothing but unique, wonderful quality experiences to me, anyways.
Yeah, and so people will judge for themselves. And so Claude calls me up and he said, I was talking with my daughter, and so he was saying that fragrances are going more. I gotta be careful how I say this. They're becoming less masculine,
more unisex.
Yeah. And he said that, and I said, okay. Now, mind you, I was done. Mod 7 was it. I had worn it for a year, and I go, this is it. And then I had macerated it, so I wore it was almost 8 months, and I go, I'm not changing this. And he said, and then he calls me up and he goes, they're becoming more of that. And I said, you know what? I'm keeping this, but send it to me. And then I had sent you them as well. And it was interesting because it was what's in Black Rose right now with soft. It was a softer.
It wasn't it. That's what I'll say is that I called George. I said, this ain't it. This ain't it, George.
Right.
And he's like, I'm glad you said that. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because Zaharoff is is a man's man brand. Zaharoff is, how can I say it? Like
the modern gentleman.
I want it to take the masculinity of a male, and when it comes time for a female, the femininity of a female. You know what I mean? And that's just how I am. Whatever anyone wants to do, God bless them. Whatever floats your boat. But I kind of I enjoy, anyway. So that was it. So, okay. So we have Mod 7. Then it came time to creating the fragrance. And it was, I think, our friend Aussie Fragrance is here.
Yeah, Mark's
right?
Here.
And his wife has tattoos. Mm-hmm. And when they were here, I was inspired by her tattoo. Initially, I was going to take one of her tattoos and I was going to put it on the box, use it as a design. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't do the exact tattoo, but I took that concept and I went ahead and when I created the packaging for the Black Rose. And should we show them the? So we have the small bottle. What do you want to do? You tell me. Should I show the small bottle?
Guys, like I was saying before, I'm still going to do a full review video. I'll probably put that out for Monday. I mean, we're going to cover pretty much everything here. I I think we're mainly just going to show the bottles here today. What do you think, George? And we'll just save something extra, the boxes or something along those lines.
Or do you want to wait till Monday to Monday to show them everything?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We definitely need to show the bottles, though.
You think so? Do you guys? I don't think they want to.
I think that's why we have 244 people right now.
So
Patrick with the $50 super chat.
Look at that, Patrick Rose Noir.
Your ears must be burning, sir, because we mentioned you about 15 minutes ago.
Patrick goes like this. It's nice, but it's just easy. What?
Yeah.
It's nice, but it's it's kind of easy, Okay.
We anyway. Included you in the initial portion of the story, sir, because it was a very pivotal moment with your input. Good to see you, Patrick. I appreciate the super chat. But yeah, it's in another realm from where it was then. That's for sure.
So I don't know if can you guys wait till Monday to see the packaging, or do they want to? I mean, they could wait, can't they?
I doubt that. That's all I hear is how much they want to see, and I've been teasing.
Okay.
So let's start with the 2 ounce and work our way to the 4 ounce. What do you think?
And we'll talk about Africa after that. But I want to thank everybody for the huge support that you've shown. Just so you know, the larger bottles are earmarked for the European market. I have filled a few here for the U.S., but that's Europe. The small bottles, which are made in the USA, are for the U.S. market. The large bottles will be made in France. However, I filled, depending on what the fragrance is, Aurum or Rosé, I filled some here. I filled in France. So whatever the box says, made in, it'll tell you where I filled it. But the large bottles are for Europe. The small bottles are for the U.S. and other markets like South Africa, South America, Korea, Australia.
So we got show the bottles, you teasy sluts.
Okay, so let's do the small one first.
So the small bottles are 60 ml. Let me adjust the focus here for you guys.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Look at this natural juice color, my God in heaven. So you can see the thorns coming through in the backside. Black frosted print.
Let me get it.
And this is a natural color. This is why I told you guys, remember the color of those roses. Those roses, it looks like they just bled all into this bottle. And then with the cap, these are hand painted, George told me. So that's not an airbrush kind of thing. This was all done by hand with that burgundy and black. That's not helping. From the top would, but from the back's not helping. So signature Halfeti Black Rose, even the 2 ounce, because for me, this is the best looking 2 ounce bottle, even better than Aurum because of that juice color.
No.
I love that it's a black frosted print this time instead of the typical kind of frosted white. So that is the Black Rose design. That's that same rose that was put out on the pre-sale, but with the Z in the middle, which is on the 4 ounce plate, which we'll see shortly. But this juice color is absolutely magnificent. It's like a red purple hybrid. It's basically in the realm of what Noir's color would be mixed with rosé in many ways, maybe a little bit darker than that. But this is the 2 ounce bottle alone.
So it's not going to stain clothing. It's not
color.
It's not the darkness where you'll see it staining clothing. I wear it with you guys know I have some pretty nice clothes. I've worn this to the ground with all my white linen, my silks. I douse it on me. So I haven't had any problems, and I haven't
had any issues either. Just let you
some beautiful clothing, and I've had no problems, and I have some beautiful pieces. I have like heirloom pieces, so couture.
So here's where it gets serious, guys. I want to show you guys this 4 ounce bottle more than anything.
Hold on, let me get it. Hold on.
Go get yours. Go get yours. Because some of you heard me say Zaharoff scented clothing. There you go. So some of you have heard me say that Aurum looks like, it was done in crayon when you compare the two, because Aurum's plate was the work of art to date. This is the nicest presentation this man has ever made on a fragrance. And the box matches it, which we're going to save for the full reviews. But once he gets here, I cannot wait to show you this because that rose with the Z that's on the website came from this bottle. That was the initial tease. Orm's plate is top notch. And some will say, oh, I still like Orm's plate better. That's going to be the minority. That's going to be a small portion of people. So, George, let me know when you are ready, sir.
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready. Look at this plate. Look at all of this texturing and detail. This is hand painted to the point to where you can see where some of the painting's even off on the thorn a little bit. There is detailing, embroidery, embossed, debossed. This plate,
what do you guys think?
Is freaking insane. I hope it's hitting the mark for you guys with how much I have built up how cool this damn plate looks. My God. My God. I know I can't be the only one here. And then, of course, you have that same juice color.
And the cap, too, guys. It's hand painted. It's all hand painted. There's
Look at this. I'm going to go solo layout for a second, George, just to make the screen a little bit bigger. Look at this. It can't just be me. Look at the detail work.
Beautiful.
Think about this. Think about the time it took to hand paint this. You know how many? This isn't just 20 of them that he had made.
And this is what someone just said. I wanted to look like a potion, and I thought of Snow White.
So I'm giving myself a
Sleeping Beauty. Like I wanted it from a Disney movie, you know.
So
beautiful.
Let me do Jared's super chat real quick, and I want to talk about the scent a little bit. 250 watchers. Yeah, half. We could do better than that. No, we got more than that. I got 140 currently. It's all good. I just appreciate you guys being here. We got 271 in the chat. I appreciate you guys come and see us and check this out. I'm glad the peak of this was when we're showing this bottle, because this is the most masculine rose dominant fragrance I have ever smelled. And the reason for that is this Sri Lankan black pepper, which I couldn't tell you differences in black peppers really all that much, other than what smells like a cheap pepper that tingles your nose and what smells like a quality pepper that's blended well. That's what I would consider this, because it's a rich, thick, warm, resinous, spicy rose. Very dense, still very, very much a smoky rose like rosé. But when you compare the two, this is much more fun and playful than this is. This is serious.
Different. It's a different
wildly different personality. This is a carefree soul. This person is about business. This person stands out. This person is noticed immediately when they walk into a room. That's the person that wears this. That's the type of personality that it has. Warm resinous. We came up with the whole term a resinous rose, because that's a great way to categorize this. It's very oriental, warm, spicy. And it still has the Turkish rose from here, but that Halfeti black rose and the black pepper, Old Bantam just dominate. There's tonka bean listed in the notes. Is it fodder? Is it really there? I don't know, because I sure don't smell any sweetness. It's heavily muted. There's no sweetness here, whereas you have sugar cane and tonka bean or vanilla bean, I believe, in here. So totally zero redundancy here, guys. Rose forward fragrances.
Right. It's two different fragrances. It's two different feelings. It's two different. I didn't want to cannibalize, because one works this fragrance. So there's a Privé coming. Many of you guys know already, which is a higher end. It's a higher end collection that's more couture fragrance, and this
very
was
exclusive.
This was going to be a Privé initially too, and so it is different from the rosé. If you like rosé, it's more airy and lighter. And this is the Athonite rose incense from the monks in the monastery. So it's more for prayer. It's more calming. The black rose is aggressive. Like, the only thing that came to my mind is, when you haven't seen your partner in a long time and you come together. That's kind of the aggressiveness that I was thinking when it comes to Black Rose. And someone mentioned Maleficent. I wanted it. I pictured there's a old in Snow White, or was it Sleeping Beauty, where the Prince Charming is on his horse and all these thorns come out, and he's like trying to block him in this forest. And there's one Black Rose, and that's kind of what I thought when creating Black Rose. Now, someone said, I get a couple of them, if you guys want to upgrade your bottle from the small to the large, just send me an email, george@zaharoff.com, put your order number in there, and I'll just switch it, and you'll get an invoice that you pay the difference, and we'll send that out on Monday. So Monday everything is ready to go. Everything is packed. It's been sitting there macerating for 3 months. And it was filled 3 months, and it was macerating since July of last year. So,
and on top of that, they've still just continued to sit and macerate as well. Yeah.
It didn't get it. So I wanted to make sure I'm starting to fill because I'm one person, and I now have a European part of this that gets filled as well. I can't stretch myself. I have to plan it out. So we're doing a year ahead. We're going to be doing filming. So I'm nervous.
Cool. What he meant by this initially is moving forward when he's in the European markets, these are exclusively for the European markets. These are kind of a test run is what's going on. Like he has them, he's made these things, so he's selling them to the North American market here is what's going on now. Whereas when he is fully open in Europe,
that's all you'll see. You will not see this.
There will be no 2 ounces in Europe. The 2 ounces, which I've been in his ear about keeping around, I think is better for the North American market because this way it keeps the price down. That's one of the reasons he doesn't put the plates on the 2 ounce, is it keeps the cost structure down, so it's still a little bit more achievable for the rest of us here in North America. I
wanted to keep
more flexibility.
Right. And Zaharoff, I want to give the $400, $500 fragrance at a half the price, but I want to give that same experience as you would get for a $400, $500 fragrance. And I see he's the only man that could get this many straight men hard. Bravo, Big Daddy. I love it.
It's a great comment.
That's awesome.
So seasons for this cooler weather, definitely more evening forward. Something I'd like to add to this is not going to be for everyone, guys. This is going to be a little bit more polarizing, but those that appreciate this are going to be head over heels in love with it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be much of an in-between. There's going to be some people that this just isn't for. It's maybe a little too bold, but there's a lot of you that watch this channel on a regular basis. You're really into this. So you're the folks that are really going to appreciate this. This is going to be a special addition to your collections.
So
one more thing, George, for any of you that are skeptical, because I know not everybody wants to do a blind buy. I don't necessarily encourage that. You hear me talk about sampling all the time. Correct me if I'm wrong, George. This week coming, there are going to be the 2 ml samples available so you can try it first.
Right. So this isn't done on purpose. We will have samples available. It's just, like I said, I'm one person. And Tom, I'm working on the Coco Loco large. I'm hoping for spring. There's a lot going on, and I'm one person. And Maureen Jacobs is in Florida. She wears the Black Rose. What's his? Oh my God! Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. I mean, I just showed
There's a lot of rapid fire questions.
I feel like I just showed my ass to the world. Actually, I feel like I showed my other thing to the world, and I'm trying to get myself together here.
There's been a lot of build for this fragrance over the last 2 years. It's been kind of hushed tones. Only certain, so many people knew about it leading up to the last 6 months. It would come up all the time. When are we getting Black Rose? When are we getting? So there's been a lot of anticipation. This is one of, if not your most anticipated.
What's your discount code, Ross?
TLTG Zhead will save you an additional 10% off of his current pre-sale price. This is the lowest he's ever offered a pre-sale. Normally the codes aren't active for the pre-sales.
And so I was in Africa.
It was pinned at the top, by the way, for anybody interested. It's pinned at the top of the chat. I'm sorry, George.
It's okay. I was in Angola, and it was 42 degrees, which is over 100 degrees, and I was wearing the black rose, and it smelled great. You know who else I had? My guide was wearing Aurum, and Aurum was incredible in the heat. It was incredible in the heat.
Because it's not overwhelmingly sweet. There's just as much woodiness and spice to this fragrance as there is sweetness. I could see how this could still work in the heat.
Ross
it's
has
not
the
overwhelming.
exact Ross's juice. There was only one batch. Ross's juice is the exact. Ross's light is white. I have a yellow light.
Yeah, I have different lighting, guys. So I have a warmer lighting, and he's got lighting behind him. It's a little different. Like I just have these LEDs that don't really do anything.
So you see,
but it's the same.
I have
It's
different
just
lighting.
the way our lighting setups are. That's all.
It's the same batch. Yeah, that looks identical when I did the light. So anyway, how does black compare to the original rose? Like we said, rosé is a rose incense. It's calming. This black rose is aggressive. It's aggressive.
This is playful, carefree. This is a casual, relaxing, but somewhat fun because of the sweetness type of rose. This is assertive. This is bolder. This is very warm, very spicy, very resinous and thick. This is a robust fragrance. And it's a sneaky fragrance because it's super strong at first. When you first spray it, you're over, even just 3 or 4 sprays, you're nonstop overwhelming yourself. I do tend to go a little anosmic to it. So it seems like it's calming down, but it's really not. And I mean, I've had 8, 9, 10, 11 hours in before I go take a shower. My wife tell me, did you spray that again? Because it's that strong. And I can tell you coming off of him, I don't know what it is with him, because Citrine's like this too. He gets crazy sillage on these fragrances. Citrine and Black Rose, that's the 2 main ones. George has these just magnificently humongous scent clouds when he wears these fragrances. Black Rose lasts forever on him. I get about 10 hours that I notice, 10, 11 hours before I go take a shower, basically at that point. Whereas I've smelled it 12 hours into the day on him, 8 hours into the day, 7 hours later. And like, hey, did you refresh? Nope, that's the same sprays from this morning. So just to give you guys an idea, just based off of the 2 of us and how it reacts, very, very strong stuff.
Patrick is crazy. I love you, Patrick. And I see the comments. Everyone, I'm so grateful for everyone. I see Mauricio, all of, I'm just very, I'm very grateful. I want to tell you guys, like, I try to live my life in flow. And it took me 2 years to find Claude. And remember I told you my friend in Fort Lauderdale, Ross? Remember I told you that I was talking to my friend, so I couldn't find Claude, and I'm talking to my friend in Fort Lauderdale. Her husband's a police officer and so detached from the world of fragrance. And I had known her for years, a dear friend of mine. And I'm at LaGuardia because I just came back from Givaudan. I'll say this very quickly, and I'm in tears because I can't find Claude. And she goes, well, what's the name of the perfumer? And I go, you won't know. She goes, well, who is it? And I go, Claude Dare. And she goes, hang up the phone. I know him. Hang up the phone. And within 3 minutes, Claude had called me. Well, that's Maureen Jacobs in your thing. That's Maureen. That's the woman. So anyway, hi Maureen. So everyone, first of all, I want to thank you for the support that you show to me. I hope I show you like all of the I just put it right back into the business, and I try investing in molds and trying to become better and be better and show, have my artistry come through. So thank you for the support that you've shown. Thank you so much. They're metal plates. They're all hand painted. You can't get these. You can't get them on a machine. And if you look at the
where you get imperfections. Because look right here. See where the paint's off? That's a good thing. That just shows the detail work, that it's all handcrafted.
And when you
see, his is a little different.
You see that?
His is different where the paint is from mine. See?
It's all done by a spray by hand. And if you look at the caps were red and then they're painted black. So you see, and I love this kind of effect. It's expensive, but look at how fucking awesome that looks. Look at that. Yeah, that's fucking art. And this is This isn't George in his garage, by the way, just so you know. This
No,
is,
definitely not. This is all professionally done in the right settings, and
and so wait until you
he
guys see,
pays for his stuff.
and wait
He
until you
pays good
guys
money.
see Clifton and Mauricio, Elizabeth,
Tony, it
Eddie,
does. So I
everybody.
have
Thank
it
you
pinned at the
guys.
top because this is one of those rare times that George has allowed the discount code to be active during pre-sale pricing. So, like the 2 ounce, for example, is 130 US. It comes to 117 with the 10% off code, which for perspective is $2 more than the first round of Zed Creators bottles.
Yeah, and I
Which
did this.
those aren't his prices anymore, guys, because everything's gone up.
Right.
Everything, all the material costs have gone up. So this is the cheapest currently until
Right.
Monday that you can get a
Monday,
2 ounce anything from Zaharoff.
Monday at noon. It's Chicago time. It's done. The moment we start printing up the shipping, it's going to be reverted back. Um, thank you, Ross. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody, for this. I'm able to live my dream because of all of you. Love is in the details. I always say that because details are expensive.
It keeps
The
telling
little
an invalid
things.
code.
And
Are you,
Kareem, thank you, Kareem. All of
Tony?
you
Are
guys
you
have
typing
been.
it correctly? It should work. It's been working for everybody else.
Are you
It
guys
works.
on the Zaharoff website? So someone asked about Triple X. So Triple X was a limited run. I do have my own. Sometimes I set aside, like, I shouldn't say this because like I did it for citrine and I'm down to 2 bottles of citrine, but citrine is coming back. I just had the bottles printed, and they're about to fill. So citrine is going to be back. It's not. I love citrine. There's ancillaries. There's a shower gel and a lotion that's freaking incredible. That turned out incredible. So that's coming back. There is a blue fragrance coming, and
Mm-hmm.
I love that too.
Oh yeah,
So someone wanted to
I
get
can't
Triple
wait.
X. Once this is done with, I'll put Triple X. I'll put a couple in inventory that you could take, but that was my personal stash. I'll give. Um, and like I said, I see Maurice. I see supply and demand. All of these people. I
I
love you guys.
appreciate you coming and spend some time with us and sharing the story and doing some back and
Of
forth
course,
banter with me and giving me the honor. I appreciate
KL. This is going to be Ross. Of course, first of all, Ross, you're my friend.
it.
Um, I'm grateful for the friendship. I'm grateful for the support. And I think people out in the world know this. And so please, you could sample it starting Monday. I'll have it up there for sampling if you want to. Um, anyway, I'm just very grateful. And I have to, anyway, so yes, so Black Rose is going to be part of the main collection. It's freaking incredible.
Yeah.
And so this is what we're for is the art of du parfum. And I hope I have to continue proving myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm part of the group that loves this. And think about this, right? I started with the one signature, and now there's what 14 total, or 15, 16,
Something like, I think this is number 13 or 14 for the
right,
signature collection alone.
yeah. And we have the UK, Australia, South Africa, Korea, South America. It's just unbelievable. And so thank you everybody for the support and the love. And Israel, unbelievable. So could this also be a cool day? The Black Rose works best. I wear it all year round, so I could say yes. Could this also be a cool day fragrance? It's a aggressive fragrance. It's really
It is.
aggressive, meaning it gives you energy, whereas the rosé makes you calm. It's two different fragrances. You don't smell rosé and Black Rose. You don't look at it and say this is the same anything.
No, and the funny thing is Turkish Rose and Olibanum are shared from it, but it doesn't smell like a flanker. It's just different rose fragrances is what it comes down to. And just a little quick TLTG tip of the day kind of thing. When it comes to Black Rose, don't just sit here and do this all, for 20 minutes straight. you're going to go nose blind. I promise
Yeah.
you're going to wear yourself out. This is one that's best to be enjoyed with just let it come to you. You won't wear down as fast because this one is a stout sillage. This one is really strong early on, so it's quick to wear a nose out. That's been
and you know what? I don't smell myself, and then I walk into the you know, like I'm like constantly, I'm like pouring this stuff on, and I'm at Walgreens picking up.
Yeah, he heavy sprays it.
And the woman behind me goes, "Whatever you're wearing smells great." I go, "You could smell it." She goes, "I think the whole store could smell it." So it's
yeah. So if anybody, I just want to let you guys know here and now, if you see anybody across the internet talk about it's weak, go ahead and correct them and let them know that they're going anosmic, because I promise that's what's going on with this fragrance. This stout.
It's leather tobacco. I think it's a right below leather tobacco and above Aurum, and those are.
I can tell you guys right here and now, Citrine made sure that there will never be a not strong as hell fragrance out of Zaharoff ever again.
And look, you have Boz, all these people, Walter, you have Joseph, all these people. And I think I saw someone who sent me a long email in Germany, Dennis.
Dennis, yes, he's been actively waiting on Germany to open up.
And Jared, you know.
Appreciate you, Jared.
So thank you for the support. Thank you. The blue fragrance, we have to wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's not time, but just know it's TLTG approved.
And
because I was prepared. I gave him a hard time about blue fragrances. You know how I am.
And there's a ladies coming. Well, look, it's not a ladies, but it's unisex gear, feminine. That's TLTG's wife approved.
Yes, my wife was
inspired
the biggest portion of the testing on this one.
She, of all the different fragrances, she loved, like, it's been a year, right? It's like almost a year.
Longer than that.
Longer than that, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. And and so it's a jasmine incense.
Jasmine and gardenia incense.
Yeah.
It sounds feminine. 3 types of jasmine. It's really not, though.
Yeah.
Any guys that like florals, I mean, if you like these rose fragrances, you're going to like this. And ladies, it is not super masculine. The incense gives it a masculine tone, but I won't go any further than that because it's not time for that. But yeah, it's magnificent.
So Zaharoff, you'll find in the U.S. You're not gonna find in Europe certain fragrances, but the whole line. I live in Chicago. There's an administrative office in France. They're gonna have, for now, limited. It's a huge, for a small guy like me to open up Europe and just open up Italy. It was a huge. It's a huge endeavor, and so. And all the legalities and all we have to be registered in every fragrance. Like every fragrance is IFRA compliant. Everyone has its own documentation. Everything has to be done properly and right. And there's tax and all sorts of other stuff. So the entire collection will be in the U.S. Select fragrances will be available in Europe in the large size. And that's why when people go, why are you doing this in a large and this in a small? It's because it'll be available in Europe, whereas the ones that are only small will not be available in Europe. The Unima sweetness from the Tonka is a bright at all Bordermont. Thanks for answering me earlier, George.
There's no sweetness, Zach. Not for me.
Blue fragrance, I'll have to be waiting for the name. And Privé, so Privé should be the fall.
So, Wayne, you just got to email George at zaharov.com with your order number, and he'll send you an invoice with the upgrade price and get that taken care of for you.
Thanks, Danimo. So let's show them again, just in case people have come in. Let's show them the small one. So the small size, Ross has better lighting than Mr. Zaharoff.
I better. I'm the content creator of the two.
I should be able to showcase my...
So that is a natural juice color, guys. The black rose, it looks like it just bled into water, and then you have a black frosted thorny rose print that comes through. You see signature black rose from Halfeti. Then you have kind of this burnt look to the cap because it was painted red and then frost painted black on top of the red, which gives this burnt burgundy.
This was This was the original cap, by the way, when you see the caps. Mm-hmm. Do you see how it looks black and red when you move it around?
Yeah, has the gradients or iridescence to it. I mean,
That was the original. That was the original cap. That was the original design. But I wanted to do more. So there's different iterations of colors and caps, and this all is really thought through.
look at that juice color.
Yeah.
Jesus. But this is all hand airbrushed, hand painted, severe emboss and deboss detailing. All the wording is pressed in.
That looks pretty awesome on your camera, Ross.
It's magnificent. This is, I'm so impressed by this. This plate is the nicest, most gorgeous, and creative presentation you've done to date, sir.
And because the rose also, when
you
think the Halfeti
this
rose is
for
not,
you now.
Right, and the Halfeti rose is not a common rose. It looks like that.
Yeah.
That's
you want to show them the jar for those that just got here? You want to show them the jar of black rose?
So this is from Halfeti.
I'm going to show you a solo layout.
Awesome. There you go. Those are black roses. Isn't it wild that it's black?
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy that it's black.
So,
good. Thank you for having me, Ross.
Of course.
Can I talk about Africa for a moment?
Absolutely. Before you do that, real quick, because it seems like we have someone having a little bit of trouble. So I just want to make sure it's working for everybody real quick. We're going to do a quick split screen with the website. Whoops. Go Black Rose.
Careful with the drop down.
Yeah, sure. So I'm just going to add a 4 ounce to cart.
The children.
So I've got 2 of them. I still have one from the last time I did this. Okay. So TLTG Z head. Whoops. Got to enter a zip code first, apparently. Let's go to Florida. Okay. Proceed to checkout.
I know, Jake, it's pretty wild with Halfeti.
And there you go. It works, sir. TLTG Z head. 2 bottles for $3.40. It gave me $34 off, which is 10%.
So are we running low on stock? Can you do me a favor? Just go to the samples and see. Anthony asked me if I'm restocking on Zaharoff samples. Just so you know, of the Immortals is sold out.
Samples for which fragrance?
And Justin and Ross are not too far behind. I think by the end of the month, beginning of February, we'll be done with the Z creators. I did, Jake. Jake, I went to.
Which samples, George?
Huh?
Which samples are we looking for?
Did you see them all available? Like, are they all? Do you see? Like, they should all be available. There's probably like XXX, maybe.
There we go.
The website's brand new, guys. It's all.
It's like here's leather tobacco samples in stock.
$5. It looks like it's all good. It would say sold out. So
yeah, they would say sold out. If they like rosé sold out.
Hey, EQ.
Second Soul out of samples. Got a few that are out. Royal X of the
Royal X.
Immortals.
Right, Royal X. I have to work on that.
There's a few. So Coco Loco, Tobacco, Signature Porom, Noir, Leather Tobacco, Royale, Aurum, all in stock.
EQ, how you doing, EQ? EQ, I think you'll be happy
Man's
with. I think EQ will be happy with because he likes rose fragrance.
He loves rose.
They smell really good on him.
Yeah, he's
and happy birthday, Maureen, to your son. Happy birthday, and thanks for coming on. And Zach and everybody, thank you, everybody.
So you wanted to talk about Africa?
Yeah. So.
So I'm gonna give you a full screen because my audio is off from my video, so I'm gonna refresh. So I'm gonna put you full screen. So go for it, sir.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Hello. There's a part in Africa. So the first privé is incredible. I don't want to say, I guess I'll give you the name because it's already been trademarked. It's called Precious Treasure. And because it's It was the original name from Claude. It's been around. It's been 3 years. And how do I say this? Like,
I'm surprised you said the name already.
Yeah, it's trademarked.
I know
so
you got
I
trademarked.
trademarked. When I announced Coco Loco, someone went and trademarked it 3-4 days
Lesson
after
learned.
I announced it. Remember that? So,
Lesson
and you
learned.
need to have a physical product. So I do. So the Coco Loco, the Precious Treasure is finished. Anyway, so it's an oil that's made in Africa. Indigenous women cultivate it, and only Mon has this oil. So this particular resin is only Mon's, no one else's. They own the entire production. It's only found in a mountain. 3 days drive in nowhere. And so I just came back from that, and I took a bottle of finished everything, and I gave it to the indigenous women to kind of full circle moment, and that's all I'll say. But I think that the Privé, it's a higher price point. It makes me a little nervous because I always want to keep things at a certain price point, but it's very expensive oil, and that's why I went through all of this to actually go to show you where this oil comes from and why it should be called Precious Treasure. And it's not going to be mass, and
You still gonna
it's going to
number
be
them?
just. I think I'm going to number them. I think so. I'm trying to figure out where I could work the numbering system in, but it's actually you'll see the presentation. I don't want to say anything, but it's all done by hand. Everything is hand, and I know that you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see.
It's going to be hard to tell them anything without telling them everything.
And I can't. And so what you guys are used to with my signature line, the collection that you know of Zaharoff, I would probably go from, I could say Concorde. Flying first class would be Zaharoff, the signature, to Concorde, but I think this is spatial. I think this is like next level. And I wanted to do something very fitting for the name Precious Treasure. It's something very precious that you will not throw away any of the components, box, nothing. You won't throw anything away. And so
no, I'm definitely going. It's I can't. Like I said, you can't say anything without saying everything.
Right, so it'll come. And I'm dying to say it because, of course, so yes, I drove 3 days in rock and then mud. You don't see any, like once every 4 hours a car passes by you, and it was a pretty emotional experience, to be honest with you. It was really, so that was my trip to Africa, and I got back yesterday. So more great things to come. I always try wanting to elevate, not just Zaharoff, but everyone. I want to elevate the experience. I want to always be doing that. And movement is life. So I got to keep moving and doing and moving. And so that's it. Any questions before I go? And so thank you, everybody, for all the comments. I have all my Facebook. I'm getting messages, and so thank you for all of that too.
So Tony wasn't able to get the code to work, but he ordered it anyway. What's the prices going up to on Monday? Because it's 130 and 170 currently.
Tony, I'll do a price. I'll go in there and don't worry about it. I'll take care of you.
How about this, Tony? Email George at Zaharoff with your order number at zaharov.com, George@zaharov.com, and just remind him of this for when he sees the email, if you don't mind.
So the box for Black Rose, Monday.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I'm still going to do a full review video on Monday in detail like I normally do. This was more of a just he and I kind of talking about everything, and just been dying to show you guys the bottle. He's been doing so much traveling. I wanted him to come on and talk about some of the stories behind it, and just kind of an intimate setting to talk about the new release, because I know for me, it's the one I've been looking forward to the most, besides like Coco Loco was the one I was most excited about besides this, because Orum's phenomenal. I mean, there's no two ways about it. No surprise, it's been a hit. But this is my kind of jam right now. Like, these are my two favorite signature line fragrances, both the rose fragrances. This is the ones for me. These are the magic for me. Teenage Ross would have not felt the way old man Ross does about these.
You're awesome, Ross. And thank you, Elizabeth and Kale, and all of the people. Justin, the blue fragrance, I can't tell you the name because it's something very, very different and unique.
Yeah, and it's not time. But just to show you guys, so I'm getting asked about myrrh being in it and everything. So I'll show the card real quick with the note breakdown. So here's black rose all the way on the end. We've got black pepper, basil, bergamot, Turkish rose, black rose, a cashmere blend of cedarwood musk, amber, tonka, cypriol, olibanum, oud, labdanum, which is a rock rose type of labdanum, vetiver, and musk. And no, there is no oud funk. It does help with that warmth and that kind of almost resinous, woody-like tone that it has, because it's darker. It's a very dark element fragrance, but there's no oud funk whatsoever. If you've been able to detect the oud oil across any of the signature line, I'm pretty confident it's the same oud oil Claude has been using, because there's never any kind of oud funk to any of George's fragrances. It's always kind of a warm wood feel. If anything, there's no challenge to the oud oil that Claude uses in this line.
Right, and I think it's not a jammy. This is not a jammy black rose. And Ryan and EQ is funny.
That's funny.
So
yeah, you notice as soon as Orum came out, everybody's got a baklava scent, right?
Well, and that's why
there's like 5 of them that have come out.
I'm so glad that Orum is not I'm so glad. I'm just glad. That's all. Yeah.
And I'm glad it's not called baklava either.
Right, because it's not baklava.
Initially it was.
Initially it was baklava.
Rendition.
And I had said it I said it a couple years before. But
I believe it's Chinese oud, Sean.
What'd you say? Yes.
He asked what kind of oud. I believe it's from China. It's Chinese oud.
And it's in my videos too. It's from a family in the Guangdong province that actually have 1 million agar wood trees that have been passed down for generations. It's incredible. And that's it. I think, are we any other questions before I go?
Yeah, if anybody's got anything pressing, now would be the time. We've done a little over an hour and 13 minutes at this point. So we've had George for pretty much a solid hour. This is about 13, 14 minutes in. He jumped on. So we appreciate you spending the time with us.
So of course, I'm very grateful. And right. And like EQ says, the family that does the oud from this, it's from the southern part of China in Guangdong province. They've been supplying oud for the different dynasties. So this is something that's been around for a very long time.
Monday.
So thank you, Kevin. Kevin, I think I'll do you proud. So we're talking about the oud. Hold on, we're talking about something else.
Yeah, they're coming in rapid fire right now.
So I heard you guys. Zaharoff is switching to the pumps for sampling.
I've been fighting that good fight for a while, guys. I promise.
So I actually bought a machine now. The machine will literally crimp it. So that's coming in. Hi, DDLD. Good to see you. And thank you, DDLD. I know he likes the bottle designs. He's into the graphics. And,
What's going on, Joe?
Yeah, and so
good to see you, Joe.
Did you see it? Did you show him, Ross? You have better lighting. If you wanna...
I think he might have skipped around to see it, but here it is,
it's
Joe.
all
Here's the 4 ounce.
This is all, and the cap too. The cap is all hand. It's all everything is hand painted.
2 ounce. Look how dark. That's natural juice color, Joe.
And someone mentioned about putting people's initials on the cap. The cap is electroplated, the color, and it would be very difficult for me to do anything on the cap unless I take a magic marker. If you want me to write your initials on it, I could do that. With love,
put it with Sharpie.
with love.
With love.
Sharpie,
Fine point.
and the Ancient One, DDLD, yes. And so the Ancient One, we come from the same dynasty, DDLD and myself. And so a lot of love, and I think that you'll be happy with the the different products, and some of the other ones are getting plates too. Rose is getting a plate. Citrine
Wait
is
till you
getting
see
a
that
plate.
one.
Yeah. So they're
That
all
one,
getting
I would say is second to Black Rose.
Yeah. So
Can I
everyone's
give
getting
them a tease and tell them what it looks like, or should I wait?
which one?
Rose.
You want to go ahead and tell them if you want
So,
to.
wrong box. Where's it at?
George
So,
O'Keefe. George
it's that.
Zaharoff did. Yeah.
This rose design is on the plate for Rose.
It looks kick-ass.
It's the swirl roses instead of the thorny rose like this. Oh God, I can't. Because I've seen the prototypes. Oh my God, I can't wait for the final product. I told him I need a 4-ounce rosé as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah,
George. I'm not even gonna spray it because I have this one. I'm spraying. I just need it. Need to have it.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
George at zaharov.com. And I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this without you guys supporting me. Thank you so much. I keep saying it over and over again. Thank you so much for supporting me in my dream. And I mean, like I was telling Roz, I went into Cape Town. I went into the perfumery, and there were 3, oh my God, and they're like, "What are you doing in South Africa?" And they were big fans of Ross and Justin, and so it's really nice to see that, that this is being watched all over the world, and yeah, so I think you'll be happy, DDLD. I always try pushing the envelope. I always try being better and doing better. Wait until you guys see the packaging for the Jasmine too. That one is also beautiful too. And so
it's not done. You want to give them a time frame?
I think I'm hoping through May you'll have the blue and the, I wanted to do it around Mother's Day for the Jasmine, for the floral one.
That's the next release, guys. After this, the next release is the floral, the incense floral.
Yeah. And I think that, Paul, I have to tell you something. I am so grateful to be able to do this, and I think Ross will tell you too, like, I'm grateful. Like, I love the traveling. I love meeting people. I love being inspired. I love the creation, the creating and doing. I'm constantly doing and moving, and
everybody has their thing, right? Some people it's riding their motorcycles. People like to duck hunt, deer hunt, fish, whatever have you. Everybody's got their thing. George likes to get on a plane and go somewhere. That is George Zaharoff's joy. That's the one thing that he does that brings him joy that isn't work, yet he always manages to tie what he does into it. It's funny. Right. It's a relaxation, hobby, vacation thing for him, but it's always business involved at the same time because he never turns it off.
Right.
Take it from one of the people that talks to him the most. He never turns Zaharoff off, not even for a moment. Every waking moment, there's something going on with the brand. The man,
and it's because it's the art. It's like there's an interesting quote that talks about the man and the art of living knows no difference between his recreation and his work. And so I love what I do. So for me, it's not work. Just like you, Ross, when you are always thinking about your TLTG family and your and you love it. And
every
it's the
waking
same
minute
thing for me. Yeah. And so I hope that, and remember, I'm 30 years. I've done this for 30 years. I've had my ups and downs. And for me, this is such a blessing to be able to be doing this. And so it's like a dog with a bone, and my jaws are on it, and and I'm not letting go of it. I push myself to always do better and be better. And thank you, Sir Siage Sniffington.
He's a regular on Justin's channel. He's one of Justin's main viewers too.
So, and if you notice, if you could go back and see KL, which he said, I just want to and thank you, Sir Siage. There's a lot of passionate people. I think that I just want to show you. I go out there and show you. So KL, remember this, everybody. Someone's a psychic. Someone has their crystal ball out. That's interesting. Very interesting.
That
Very,
Filipino
very
voodoo
interesting.
that my wife has. She's Filipino. Same thing.
So EQ
They're
boozy.
omens and all that good stuff. You know.
I'm gonna need you to go super boozy. That's interesting. Very, very
He hasn't made
interesting.
a boozy fragrance.
Huh?
EQ Boozy Zaharoff collab. That's what Gunner said.
You never know. I think
No.
I get like, EQ is he's got a presence about him, and so
It's my
yeah,
guy.
I would be like I would be stressing out wanting to make everything perfect. Like I make guys with the other Z creators. If you could see, I make sure I make sure that I promise and then over
Over
deliver. With
deliver.
EQ, I'd be like, "Is this okay? Are you okay?" Yeah.
Just beauty right here.
It was meant. So those of you guys, since we're having this conversation, Ross, if you want to show it, so Evening Mystique, that was supposed to look like the inspiration came from back in the day when you would have the horse and carriage go in and they would sell the different the tonics and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And so it was meant to be very busy because back in the day, that the packaging is what
Sold
sold.
everything.
And so look at like the little details and the etching, that's acid etch on the side and all of that. And the star, if you see, there's a video that I put out. The star is a Zaharoff star, and this was from over the years. Like I could pull up something from the 1980s that will show you that star. So this whole design is Zaharoff.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you see behind me, do you see the bas reliefs right there?
Mm-hmm.
That was also an inspiration, and that's where the plates, the concept of the plates came up too. And so,
Which was
I don't know.
brilliant to start doing the plates, by the way.
Would you
Talk about
say?
elevate. That was brilliant to start doing plates. Talk
Yeah.
about elevate your presentation.
And that was the distributors were like, if you're gonna, if you want to sell, but also the price, Zaharov's price points are not in line of what it should be. And when you
Because there is
backtrack it,
booze in it, Josh. Both
when
of
you
her
backtrack
fragrances
the
have booze.
pricing, it needs to be a little bit higher to accommodate the distributor, the wholesaler, the whole infrastructure, and then the price for the markup for the retail. So that's
This
why the
chat
large.
this
Huh?
chat's manifesting, George.
What do they
We got a
say?
lot of demand for EQ and Zaharoff here. Well, left and right.
Hold on. What is it? Let's not forget Rafi. What does Rafi? Let's see what he said. I don't want to. Rafi, we see you, and you said nothing wrong. I think that this is going so fast.
Yes.
You don't sound whiny. We'll just
Gotta
figure it
go
out.
support the channel, but not doing that.
But
I don't
that's
know what you're talking about.
we didn't see anything pop up,
No,
Rafi,
I didn't. Let me go to the starred ones.
unless it's a
So
different
this is the
area.
member one from a while back. Okay, my apologies. You got to understand, Raf. There's a lot of rapid fire stuff happening, and I've been letting the chat how I normally pick a stopping point. I haven't been doing that because if I did, we'd be 45 minutes behind on comments.
So
So
much love, Rafi.
I've just been letting them go. So nothing personal, Rafi.
I didn't think I'd get one without.
Here we go.
I'm glad you
Got
got it. I
apologies
think
for the
we're going to
plate.
be
Can't wait
sold
to get
out
my
by the end of
nose
the
on it.
month.
I sure appreciate you, Raph. Yeah, man, must have said something wrong. Man, don't get it, Raph. You're a regular in my live chat. You know not to get in your feelings on stuff like this. Come on now, man. We hang every day. You know better than that. Come on. You know we love you. Totally fair. Love you.
I think
That's
what
what I'm
you need to
saying.
do
You
is
know
have
we
a
love you. Come
horn.
on now.
And look,
My apologies.
I
It's not
say
intentional.
stuff, and Ross doesn't see it until 3 years later.
Well, no, the God's honest truth. Normally in our usual chat, I pick a spot and stop, then I'll go back to the chat to try to catch up. Whereas with this, we got to 300 people with a crazy active chat. There's no way I could have did that. I had to just let it flow, and we're staying current the whole time because of it. So stuff's just flying by.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's all it is, Raph. I promise. That's all it is, my man.
And someone mentioned about the curtains, and it was the curtains, Ross. It was you wanted it was the inspiration of the box. And you guys, you know how hard that box was to do. If you look at the print of the Evening Mystique, the gold printing on the bottom, like it took. It's not easy. It wasn't easy. Let me tell you, Ross's was the most challenging.
It was. It was.
Andrea's was the most expensive. Ross's was the most challenging.
Mine's the busiest.
Right, which is what it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be that, yeah.
Right, and Justin's doing the polishing of the chrome because it's all metal. Justin's is all metal.
Justin's was the most simplistic design with the biggest story to tell. That's what's the brilliance of Second Soul. It was the most simplistic design with the biggest story. Such good job, Justin and George, on that one.
Yeah.
That's such a hit.
The whole fucking collection was
such
incredible. Like it took it next. Just no one could say anything, man. No one could say anything when it comes to that whole. It was beautiful.
I agree.
And so
you're good,
man. Make sense with Bottles and Beer. I love it. Bottles and Beer.
The Black Rose dethroned Evening Mystique for most expensive juice. There's another fragrance that dethroned Evening Mystique for that. It's the Privé. Yeah.
And this is big checks. Like when you're doing the fill and you make an order for oil and you're like, what the WTF? This is like an S-Class Mercedes. Like you're like
shut up, Kyler.
Kyle. So someone made a comment. If anyone's gonna get ignored, it's me. I bust his chops.
No, Kyler's just joking.
Shane said something. Shane had mentioned something.
Shane, let me see. Let me scroll up. Shane Hartness. It reminds me of the velvet curtains at the old theater. So the funny thing is, the box that's for the velvet rope, that's for the curtains, that's for the seats at the theater, and the idea was a velvet bag, kind of like Crown Royal does with their bottles. But it just wouldn't work in the box with the bottle. It wouldn't fit. But that was the original idea, was we were going to do a velvet bag that color to have the bottle in too.
We wanted to do that too.
We ended up doing that on the box top instead because we really wanted to incorporate that velvet. It was just such a great idea for the team.
Because I like doing things
big, very big, very extravagant.
Give them theater, right? To give them an experience, and that's what I want to do with everything, is give you guys an experience. And I'd love to do more. And I'm very grateful. So
Evening Mystique is technically called Evening Mystique Business Over Pleasure Act 2. It's the whole Act 2 is a play on words for the play and theater theme, and the Business Over Pleasure DNA is in this. This is actually a flanker to the first fragrance. So yeah, they are. That is one and the same. That's all. It's a longer name. We just call it Evening Mystique, but it's Evening Mystique Business Over Pleasure Act 2.
And if you look at Ross's,
it's wordy.
If you look at Ross, if you show them again your front plate, if there's emboss and deboss, that plate.
Yeah, it's very detailed.
If you look at the coloring,
so the stars pop out.
So beautiful.
All these lines are textured. The star, the outline sticks out. The ribboning sticks out. It's embossed, and all the wording as well pops out. It's all embossed and debossed. And this is a natural color as well. George never dyed. As far as I know, you've never dyed the juice color, right? It's always
that's the way it is.
Well, I know this is natural color. I'm just saying, like, all of your fragrances have been natural juice color.
Some of them I've tweaked.
Okay.
Some of them, yeah, but leather tobacco, no.
No, leather tobacco's the natural color. I know that.
And as well as this. Depends. Squeaky will get things for huming my ego. Ralph, it's okay. It's all love. And then sometimes it's good. Listen, I'd rather you bring it up and communicate it than go on to another, you know what I mean? Just bring it and talk it through. I need to talk everything through and break it down, and because that's how I have peace in my life. Wait, what did Kareem just say? I didn't get a chance to read what Kareem said. Might be expensive,
but think about doing something with Pearl Mother, George. Mother of Pearl, I think is what he meant. It looks amazing on watches. It would look even better on a Zaharoff bottle. So that'd be pricey, though, to do real Mother of Pearl.
So when we were working with Andrea, the vision that I was looking for was the Mother of Pearl. And to get that Mother of Pearl, which is actually in Privé, it's not easy to do. So I do. By the way, I am. You'll see pretty soon that I have worked with Mother of Pearl with Privé. I'm excited about it too. So we'll see.
There's so much coming. This
Yeah.
2024 is going to be his best year of releases. The
You think?
overall body of work. Yeah, because I know what your schedule is for this year. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's going to be a better year than 2023 and 2022.
And
I mean,
yes,
you got to take the Zed creators out of it. I mean, it's house releases, guys. Signature
so
line.
Central
He's got
Hub.
private line now, which has nothing to do with signature, guys. This is all completely
It's all
reworked
new.
from scratch stuff.
And it's a whole different other design too. All right. So what does Central Hub want?
Question: a yes or no? Haha! Can't wait for the box for Monday. Are both 2 ounce and 4 ounce box same box? The boxes are the same. They're just different size, but the boxes aren't different. The difference is the plate and the print for the 2 ounce and the 4 ounce. This is the difference, but the actual boxes that they come in are the same. They're just different sizes.
So let me ask you this: what Central Hub? I like his logo.
He's a regular on here too.
Does he have a channel, or is that just for?
I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel. Shame on me for not checking, but I know he's active on IG. He does a lot on IG. That so I do know.
The two boxes though are inspired of the same. Yes, I know. I didn't.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the boxes on Monday's video.
Right, Coco Loco, the larger size has other designs too. I did the whole Coco Loco theme to be Coco Loco, but when it comes to Black Rose, I did. We kept it the same across the large and the small.
So over the
I
holidays,
do like it too. I like the click of the sound too.
So Evening Mystique was Allie's son's favorite out of all the Zaharoff fragrances. Well, that's good to know, Joe. I appreciate you sharing that.
I think he likes the orchid. He likes the orchid.
Orchid? What orchid?
You
mean iris?
No, hold on. Sorry.
You mean iris?
Iris. Sorry.
Yes. What orchid fragrance?
Do you know what I was thinking of? I didn't see Josh, and there he is, Josh Aguina. Is this
Josh has been here the whole time.
Oh, he has? Hi, Josh. Yeah. Josh sent me his fragrance. What it's called? This fragrance is called.
I forgot the name. I know it's Clinique Happy.
Ellie's Elation. So, and Josh, check out Josh. Josh got a good channel. He's a
definitely check out Josh.
Too. He's a good guy.
Especially on IG. He does a lot of IG lives and reels too.
So my family is from Russia, but they fled and went to Greece. So I speak fluent Greek, and my family is in Athens. And yes, so
a lot of requests for booze, George.
Buzz, everybody. It's bourbon inspired scent. You know, there's some other stuff in the pipeline. We'll see. Thanks, Mr. Bone. Thank you, guys, and thank you again for supporting me and Zaharoff in my dreams.
Where was that at?
But I hope so. I hope you.
The only thing stopping that from happening, Josh, is you letting me know when you want to do it, my man. That's the only thing holding that up. You just gotta let me know when you want to do it. We'll work it out.
You subscribe to me. I'm the one who had. I'll send Central Hub. Yes, I know now. Central Hub. I got him. I remember him now. Yes, I have to connect connect everything. Malaka. I like that word. Everyone knows the word Malaka.
Every time George Zaharoff makes an appearance on live streams, I end up having a good fishing trip. Good luck charm for this weekend. So, George, you bring him luck when he's out in the boat. He's going ice fishing this weekend.
I wish everybody watching this for prosperity, for good health. You know, go play the lottery and maybe you'll win. But let's, get the, what do they call it? Fortuna. May Fortuna touch all of you this weekend. And I hope you catch a lot of fish.
According to Josh, Triple X is the reason his wife got pregnant 4 months after just having a baby.
Triple X is awesome. And I wanted it dirtier.
Very erotic.
I wanted it, guys. I wanted it. I was talking to Claude, and I told him I want it to smell like a crotch. I told him that. Here it is.
There's the focus. Mike was asking about. I guess I'll turn the autofocus off.
Mike, how are you?
That's the 4 ounce.
And if you're able to see, like, it's
thick embossed and debossed metal. And then the 2 ounce.
Yeah, there you go.
That's natural color juice. Then you have the black frosted thorns and rose.
And this is the Halfeti. It's an area in Turkey, by the border of Syria and Turkey, where they actually have the black roses. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go have dinner. Even though I want to take you to the kitchen with me and cook with me and have you over for dinner here, you're always welcome to come and have dinner with me. Ryan, I'm here too. Hi, Ryan.
Well, George, we did a little over an hour and a half. I think it's a pretty good time to call it. I know you need to go eat. It's time for me to go eat too. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and for giving me the privilege of doing this with you.
I love you guys.
I'm sure a lot of excitement was created here getting to see that, because anybody that's familiar with you and Claude's work knows they're getting an excellent fragrance. Yeah. This is pretty much just getting to see the shelf bling, the collection bling, as I like to call it, because this is a piece you're going to want in the front. For those of you that get the 4 ounce bottle, especially, that's a piece that you're not going to want on the back of the shelf. You know, that's something you're going to want displayed.
And the small bottle is just as effective. And Anthony, much love. So if those of you that don't want to have the large bottle, but this is great for traveling. I have nothing left.
Well, this is a standout for those of you that mostly get the 2 ounces from Zaharoff. Yeah. This is the standout of the 2 ounces because of this right here. And that juice color really does something special here in this one.
And you have fantastic voyage. I hope you catch some fish. Ross, make sure you tell Ross how you did this weekend, because I have a feeling you're going to do good. And now, do they let you keep the fish, or do you have to throw them back in?
He goes fishing all the time, actually.
He does?
Yeah, he goes fishing all the time. He's a regular. He's actually one of the few that's at the super fan level for the membership from day one, too.
That's awesome.
On top of the super chats, he pays $150 a month to the channel membership.
And like
that's
I said,
that's some real support right there. That's not many.
And look, Ross is the hardest. Ross works very hard, and it's quite inspiring. You know that Ross really. I mean, if you see the content he puts out, he really. I'm proud of him. I'm proud to know such a worker somebody who really passionate and works hard. So.
Thank you, George.
All right. Yes, you're welcome, guys. And it's not like, how do I say this? It's not like a psychic, like, you know, it's you work hard. If anyone does what you do, first of all, they gotta have your personality, of course. Ross has a unique personality, down to his intro videos, the music that he plays. I laugh about it, but it's Ross. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's
very much.
That's what makes you special, Ross.
I'm unapologetically and authentically me.
That's the way to do it.
All the time.
That's the way to do it. All right. So those of you, if you want to upgrade the bottle, if you had gotten the 2 ounce, you want to upgrade the 4 ounce, send me a note. I'll do the upgrade, and you'll just get an invoice for the difference. So
George at zaharov.com, guys. And make sure to put your order number if you're upgrading. That way he can look you up real quick. And just let him know in the email that you're looking to upgrade from the 2 to the 4. Here's my order number. He'll invoice you the difference.
Yeah, and Ross, and you'll get the discount too. And this is Monday by noon, Chicago time. It's going to revert to the regular price. Everything should go up by Monday. It ships. Everything's ready to go and ship. Your Aussie fragrance is hilarious. Those of you guys who are following Aussie, something happened with this channel. So if you want to refollow him, make sure you do it.
And look, Mark, I don't know what I want you to hear this too, George. Cuba posted the update that YouTube sent out. They're getting stricter now that it's an election year on sensitive content and things that if they actually mention political and information and all that. So they're about to crack down even more. So heads up, Mark, because you do a lot of raunchy shorts and stuff like that. Apparently, if they gave you a hard time the first go around, I guess they're about to crack down even more. So I just want to give you a heads up.
in New York or by there or the.
Apparently so. Yeah, I messaged Cuba after. I said, it's election season. You know, that's why they're doing that.
Listen,
So,
sex, politics, money, and
religion.
religion. Just stay out of it.
Yep.
Not worth it.
Nope.
And
especially if the
love you
social
guys.
platforms are going to crack down and penalize you for it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I got my hair, and the guys, it's not a mullet. I've heard somewhere, does George have a mullet? It's not a mullet. It's
no, it's just long
mullet.
hair.
All right, guys. Much love. Thanks for having me. I love you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for the support.
Appreciate you spending some time with us. Go enjoy your dinner, and I'm gonna do a little sign off.
Bye, guys.
George Zaharoff, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. I saw a bunch of people gifted memberships earlier. This was great. It's always fun when I get to hang out with George. The same thing when I get Justin on, because we're going to be doing our decant swap here in the next couple of weeks. We got to iron everything out. We've been texting the last 2 days about it. We're going to be doing a decant swap, blind smell, live stream, probably before the month ends. But guys, I totally am not saying please pre-order this. If you want to wait till samples are available, that is the best course of action. Don't blind buy if you're not comfortable with it. The pre-sales are there for those that know they're going to buy it anyway, love to support the brand, and want to get it for the best price they can get it for. That is 100% what that's for. It's not necessarily one of those things that you just don't feel like you're going to miss out. Sure, you're going to pay a little more after the pre-sale, but it's not like it's an astronomical difference. So I just want to make sure to let you guys know. Don't do anything just for the fear of missing out, FOMO, if you will. Don't do that. It's not that serious. But with that said, at the same time, now is the cheapest you'll get it till noon Central Time Monday, because it's $117 after the code for the 2 ounce and $153 after the code for the 4 ounce. And just to give you perspective, this is with the code and the pre-sale price, $2 more than the first round of Zed Creators. And this is $2 less than what the 4 ounce bottles used to cost originally. Signature Pour Home used to be $155 for a 4 ounce before all the cost of materials and oils and everything went up over the last couple of years. So just to give you guys some perspective on what's going on. Again, I tell you that to give you the information. It's not to get you to hurry, go buy it. So I want to make sure we're perfectly clear with that, guys, because samples are going to be available starting Monday. So I appreciate you guys for coming hang out with me, spending a little time. I appreciate the support for the channel. I appreciate the support for my dear friend George Zaharoff. He puts out excellence. If you love this, you're really going to love this, because this is a more laid-back personality to this. This is assertively masculine, warm, resinous, rich and smoky. It will overwhelm your nose. Be prepared to go anosmic because it's so strong early on. If you go to doing this, like my nose is already going a little blind to it because I keep going back to my hand periodically while he was talking. And I promise you it hasn't gotten weaker. I promise you. So if it seems like it's gotten weaker to you, it is your nose wearing down. Just go walk by somebody. They're more than likely going to let you know, especially if it's like you're around your home. Go walk by your wife, or ladies, go walk by your husband. They'll let you know. I promise this is a Sillage monster. So definitely check out today's video if you haven't yet. I appreciate all of you for being here. Make sure to like the stream before you leave. I'm not sure what tomorrow's video will be, but be out at the usual time, 8 a.m. Central Time. We will be back live tomorrow, probably with just a random live chat. I don't have anything lined up to do with a specific topic centering around some fragrances. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I do have some things I haven't opened yet that were sent to me. We'll see. We might do, like I have 2 fragrances from the Gate Fragrances. Maybe we'll do those tomorrow. But once again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you all so much. So glad to finally show you guys this. The full detailed review will be out Monday morning, where we'll look at the box and everything and dive a little further into my usual breakdown, just to have the formal, here's the full review, because not everybody's going to want to watch an hour and 45-minute live stream to get all the details. Most people would rather an 8 to 10 minute video. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.